and quite often they would see little kids in this cemetery.
Oh, and the ball's gone off. Yeah, I can hear gunshots. Amy's just setting up and this keeps going off on its own.
People have seen children here playing. Oh good, they're leaving. I apologise so much. I can't express how bad I feel. That's insane. The REM pod was really, really weird. I've never seen one act like that. Can you make all of the lights on this device light up? Hi Crypt Keepers, thank you so much for tuning into Amy's Crypt. Tonight we are checking out a cemetery because I've heard that there's actually ghostly activity that goes on here, so stay tuned. In 1857, a Methodist church was established on this ground, followed by the first burial in what would become a small cemetery in 1866. This cemetery would grow to sadly contain the graves of many children, with the nearby church also functioning as a school starting in the 1860s. This makes the ghost sightings of children in the cemetery seem that much more plausible. Though the old church turned school no longer stands, we paid the Burton Pioneer Cemetery a visit to try and contact any spirits that may linger nearby. That's a good squeak. Alright Crypt Keepers, I'm happy that we beat the sun setting here, so we still have a little bit of light, and the reason being I wanted to show you guys around this cemetery because it's really kind of cute before we investigate tonight. I'll tell you how I found out about this place. I was at a party, this was pre-COVID, so quite a while ago now, and I just got talking to someone who I'd never met before, and you know, I mentioned what I did and they were like, oh, like I know a haunted place that you should check out. And it ended up being pretty local to me, this place here, which is the Burton Pioneer Cemetery. And I was like, oh okay, like I'll have a look into it. What do you know about it? And they said that it was either their aunt and uncle or their grandparents, someone who was directly related to them, used to live across the road from this cemetery. And they'd lived there for years and years and years. And quite often they would see little kids in this cemetery, but not like modern day kids. Like these kids were decked out in old school kind of clothing, and they would see them like playing in the cemetery and around the area, but they would tend to disappear a lot. So it's kind of interesting. So they believed that the spirits of the children that they were seeing here were likely buried here, and there are kids buried here, which I've kind of done some research, but I did a little bit more research on this place. So when this was established back in 1857, there was actually a Methodist church here, and in about I think it was the 1860s, that church actually got a new use and it became used as a school. So I started like connecting the dots and thinking, okay, yeah, sure, they could be, you know, ghost children who are buried at the cemetery, or maybe it's not an intelligent haunting and it's more like residual energy and left over from the school. So it's quite an interesting spot. But let's go for a little walk around. We'll look at some of the graves because they are quite beautiful, and yeah, let's check it out. Alright, so here guys is a grave that I want to point out and show you all. This was the first person ever buried here, and it was young George Dement. He was just 1 year old, so his grave is kind of noted down here by this little marker here, plot 12. So I mean, just right there, that's our first child here. Alright guys, a few things to note before things get much darker. First of all, there's a brilliant like full moon tonight. I know some people believe that can either increase, or some people even believe it can decrease paranormal activity, but I just want to make note of it, and we've got a pretty good glimpse of it over the top of these houses. So this little graveyard here is surrounded by housing and a very busy main road just down here. So it's going to be a pretty difficult place to investigate, and I can already hear people in the backyards of these houses, like, I don't know what they're doing, maybe having a barbecue or something, and we can't really help that, so just know there is contamination. I suspect the people who are sighting the children lived on this side, just back over here, because there are houses just there as well, and the ones on this side seem very new, so I would say it would be these people over here. I don't know who they are or which one is their house. One more note, there is a lot of birds here, and I'm wigging out because you guys know that I don't like birds, and I reckon they're going to give us grief tonight, but I don't know. Fingers crossed. They're a bit crazy actually. Oh good, they're leaving. Okay, Crypt keepers. So Jared and I are back in the car and you can kind of see a little bit of light out here behind us. So we're just waiting for it to kind of get a bit later. Plus this really weird guy just like pulled in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a busy area. It is like a suburb, and there's a main road right here. So it's going to be probably a bit loud tonight, but I don't know why people feel the need to just like pull in here and like stare at us. Like...
Yeah, what idiots go to the cemetery on a Friday night?
Yeah, right, besides us. Anyway, what do you think of this place? It's cute, huh?
It's very small and it's in a very busy area. Like there's cars all over the place. You can hear people in their backyards talking, and
yeah,
it's probably the most busiest, loudest location we've ever been to.
For a cemetery, it's really not very peaceful.
No, these people are not resting in peace, that's for sure.
I do feel like this wouldn't bother me. Like maybe, I don't know, I'm curious about you. How would you feel your back fence literally like, you know, backing right up to a grave?
A graveyard, you mean? I mean a cemetery.
I think this is technically a graveyard because it was a churchyard at one point. But yeah, the fence is like here and then the graves are like right there.
Yeah, if these people look over their back fence, they're looking down at a tombstone.
Yeah.
It
wouldn't bother me.
I don't think it would bother me either.
Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, because they have built the houses right up to the very like threshold of the cemetery, I guess.
Could you live next door to a cemetery? Or do you live next door to a cemetery?
Yeah, I mean, I know other people who do, and then like it's fine. They don't mind it.
And if you do, have you ever had any experiences in your home as a result? That'd be cool to know. And just because it's a cemetery or graveyard as well, I should note, doesn't mean it's automatically haunted just because there's bodies there. Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, cemeteries, graveyards aren't haunted. But my argument to that is maybe it's not necessarily a correct theory, because you're saying that because their ghosts wouldn't hang out at their dead body. But there's plenty of other reasons why the cemetery could be haunted. Maybe the land, other buildings, other reasons.
Maybe they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some rule, like, you know, that you need to be within.
You're bound to your body.
You're bound to your body, and you can't go more than 20 meters away, which would be really.
Yeah, that suck. But anywho,
who knows?
So let me know your thoughts on cemeteries or graveyards being haunted. I believe that they can be haunted. I think anywhere could be haunted if ghosts exist. You know
we've had like cool things happen in cemeteries before, like, you know, where we've had words on some of our devices or names of people, and the grave was right there, like the guy at George at Ely Road Cemetery. Yeah. And then, like, I think we went back there, and then we got his wife Elizabeth. Yeah,
and I think just as okay, I know we're getting into a whole debate now, but, you know, as an investigator, you shouldn't write off a location as being not haunted just because it is a cemetery.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, the hauntings here are supposed to be children. So, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if it's, like, intelligent and they're here because that's where their body is. Maybe the kids are confused and they don't know where to go, so they just followed the body. They ended up here, they've stayed here. Maybe it's something residual because the church that was here was a school. You know, so maybe them frequently seeing the kids playing, maybe that was like slips in time kind of thing. Either way, like, we are going to try and reach out and see if we get responses tonight. So I bought something for the kids. You guys know it's my fave.
Oh no.
This is Spirit.
Spirit the horse.
So everyone pretty much knows Spirit by now.
Spirit's missing an ear.
Spirit's always been missing an ear.
Oh, I thought, are you sure? That looks like it's fresh.
It's not fresh. Sometimes Spirit's tail falls off and I've been like so scared that I'm going to lose it and he's just going to have a little stump. Yeah, so we can use that as like a trigger object, and I think I've also got something else.
What's that? Candy? Yes! Candy.
This isn't candy, this is chocolate Bicky.
If you're in America, what would you call this? Chocolate cookies. Would you call them candy or class them as candy?
I would probably call that a cookie.
Probably.
This is a Tim Tams. And
not sponsored.
Yeah, I wish.
I wish. Send us some Tim Tams.
On it, if you ever see this video, we could do with some Tim Tams. Now, here's something that...
So is this for the kids or for us?
Well, I'm gonna have some, but we'll share it with the kids, right? I'll leave some here for the kids anyway. Tim Tams, guys, it's basically chocolate biscuit, chocolate coated
cookie.
Now, if you get them, you must get the double coat. That's a strong tip from
Tim Tam tip.
from me. Anyway, yeah, well, let's just wait a little bit longer, wait till it gets dark, and then we'll go out, we'll set up some devices, and we'll try to reach out and see if we get anything.
Quick question from me. So do you have any tips for anyone on how to investigate a location like this when it's contaminated by so much noise?
I think the thing is, like, really, it's like you could just not investigate it because there's noise, or you could use other methods that could potentially get evidence.
Like what?
I mean, I'm not going to do an EVP tonight, right?
Yeah.
We'll have the camera rolling, but if I get any so-called things that sound like voices or, you know, anything like that, I can't really say for 100% sure that it's not someone over the back of the fence.
In fact,
right?
I would say it's 99% probably someone over the fence.
Yeah, it's probably not paranormal. Things like anything visual, so like, you know, like the REM pod, the SLS, like things like that you know aren't reliant on sound, I guess, are pretty good.
Yep, so SLS, REM pod, cat balls.
Also, my biggest tip, and like Jared and I have investigated in lots of different countries, some that are quite loud. Remember, like India?
India was by far the loudest
So
country
loud.
that we've ever been to.
The spirit box. Use that because it's so freaking noisy anyway. It'll drown out any other sound, and like you should just be centering on and concentrating on the noise coming out of the spirit box. So
I guess what you're saying is in loud environments there are some gadgets and methods that are better than others because they don't rely on quiet sound environment.
no. So that's going to be what we're doing tonight. But yeah, let's wait till it's dark and then we'll do that stuff that I just said.
Yeah. Amy's just setting up and this keeps going off on its own.
Yeah,
We rarely get REM pod action.
We've only ever had it go off once.
Yeah, it's cool.
Alright, so I'm recording. Maybe they like the Tim Tams. If there is anybody here, Tams. And you want those Tim Tams? They're here for you. Can you make all of the lights on this device light up? Alright, we're going to leave this area and leave this here just for you. I've just got to check this isn't... May as well put spirit in here. Okay.
What could be triggering that?
So the REM pod goes off when things get close to it. It basically makes a little...
Ooh, they're all lighting up.
around it. Can you make that last light light up too, please?
Did.
Thank you. Alright, can you step away from the lights? Are you able to step away? Why is this going so crazy?
We've never had REM pod action on here before.
I think that's just a bird. Should I...
Is there a calibrate button or something?
I'm going to just... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it off and then turn it back on. Only reason, this is like going off so much. I've never seen it do this anywhere ever. So let me just try. Alright, I'm going to put it back on. Well, I think turning it off and then on again will recalibrate it, right?
No, there's a calibrate button.
Alright, Can you come back towards those noisy lights? Thank you. Can you light up the purple light? That's insane. Alright, so it's definitely going off less, but it has gone off since I've reset it. But it's in the car.
Car's locked. We're getting a lot of action here. Oh wait, maybe not.
That's really odd. Cat ball's going off as well. Should we move its location or something? Or?
I think they really like the Tim Tams.
Yeah, the Tim Tams. Everyone loves Tim Tams, right? This is like crazy though. Alright, so one thing I have been told about REM pods is if they are low on battery, then they could function weird. So I'm gonna swap it out and see if we get anything different or the same.
Maybe move them right out of the way. Temperature, need to reset it.
I don't know what's going on with it, alright?
Maybe move everything off the chair to prove that it's...
I'm just gonna leave it on the floor. Let us roll it. Have I broken it or something?
An ant wouldn't set it off, would it?
No.
Oh, and the ball's gone off.
I almost just want to turn it off. Alright, Crypt Keepers, I've just now hit record on my... Gloria. We can check that name. I've just now hit record on GhostTube, so you'll see that on the bottom of the screen. We're walking away and leaving the Tim Tam area. Camera's still rolling on it, but I've switched off the REM pod. Reason being is it's just going crazy and there's houses out in the back there. I know it's loud here anyway, but I don't want to like disturb anyone, and honestly, I don't know if that's a spirit interacting or it's malfunctioning, so I'm gonna have to try it again when I get home or something. Alright guys, I know this is like a really weird thing to inject in this video, and I also just want to say the investigation is not over yet, so don't think this is like me wrapping things up, because there's more from that night 2 weeks ago that I want to show you. But I also felt like I needed to address something with the REM pod. I've come back in the day because I feel really bad. Like I just can't stop thinking about what happened that night and the REM pod going off. I've brought the REM pod back and it's actually on right now. So I'm just proving that there's nothing in the environment that is always triggering to it, if that makes sense. So something was going on with the REM pod that night. I've also tested it. I mean, we changed the batteries on the night. I did everything that I could to debunk it going off, and it was still going off. Now, one of the things that I just wanted to do was come back to the cemetery in the day, because I felt really horrible that if there was a spirit here, especially a child, trying to interact with us, and then I was like, oh, this must be faulty, like turn it off, and stopped it. I was a little bit, as you can see, there's houses just behind me here. I felt like I didn't want this loud REM pod going off in the cemetery late at night, and now thinking back on it, I'm like, maybe I should have tried to use it to communicate further, and I feel kind of bad. So what I've done is I bought some offerings. If there is any spirits here and you were trying to communicate with me a couple of weeks ago, like, I apologize so much. I can't express how bad I feel. So I've bought some lollies here for you, and I'm gonna leave them on the bench here. So we're literally just gonna leave some lollies. That's just why I stopped by, just something for you, something nice for you that you can hopefully enjoy. And I just wanted to say thank you as well if you were trying to communicate with us about 2 weeks ago when I was last here. So yeah, this is such a weird episode, but I just felt like I needed to come back and address it. The REM pod is fine, and I think I just got flustered in the moment with it, and I shouldn't always try to debunk every single thing, and maybe just roll with it a bit more. So let's get back into the nighttime investigation, because there's more to this video still to come. Walk over here. I'm getting magnetic fluctuation, so I'm going to calibrate it. You do that just by tapping it.
Why did you come?
We came here, oh my god, there's birds above me. We came here to visit you and say hello. We'd love to talk to anyone that is here. Is Gloria around? So this is everyone buried here, so I'm just looking for a Gloria. Who is Gloria? So my name is Amy, and I'm here with Jared, and we wish to communicate and reach out to anyone who may be at the cemetery. We visit you out of respect. We'd just love to talk to you if you are here. Alright, there's so many cars and stuff around, guys, just another note. Are there any children here? People have seen children here playing. Would you like to play with us? Right, Crypt Keepers, so what I've done now, and I want to do this before things get too late, just because again we are in like a suburb with houses. I'm going to do the spirit box, but I also have the Ghost Tube SLS camera rigged up with spirit and my Tim Tams and a cat ball in another area of the cemetery, so we're kind of monitoring that area at the same time we do this. So listen for anything interesting that comes out of there, and we'll look for anything interesting that happens over there. Hello again, my name is Amy, and I'm here with Jared, and I would love to talk to anyone in the cemetery. Now I know this thing in my hands may seem weird and you may not know what it is. It's called a spirit box, and it's something that maybe you can use to talk to me. It's not something that will hurt you, but if you come close to it, maybe you can tell me your name or say hello. Are there any children here? Would you like us to play with you? We did bring you a toy and some chocolate biscuits.
Cookies.
Kids back then wouldn't have said cookies. I would have said biscuits.
Biscuits then.
If you go towards them, maybe you can show us that you're here. And I don't know if you were already trying to show us that earlier with that flashing noisy light. If that was you, thank you. Can you do something now to let me know that that was you? Pay close attention to Spirit's tail in this next clip. You can clearly see it move and shift. It is strange that this happens, as we were only just talking about it shortly before this event in the car. Sometimes Spirit's tail falls off and I've been like so scared that I'm going to lose it and he's just going to have a little stump. While I cannot say that this is paranormal, since the tail was loose and could have shifted under gravity, I do personally find it strange that the tail clearly moved when we were using it as a trigger object for the children said to haunt this cemetery. Can you tell me what games you played? Maybe like Ring a Rosie or something like that?
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch? I can't really hear anything coming through, huh? I'm not getting, I don't know, I'm not getting any vibes. I really think the weirdest thing was the REM pod earlier. I just heard the SLS beep, so I wonder if it's picked something up. But the REM pod was really, really weird. I've never seen one act like that.
Even after you change your battery, so it wasn't low battery.
Yeah, it wasn't the battery. Nothing was like close enough for it to be triggering. At least I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Well, we tested it because we took things off the chair and everything.
Yeah, I know.
And when you put it on the floor, was it quiet?
It was still going off on the floor. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because there's definitely nothing around on the floor. I hope I haven't broken it. Imagine that. That thing's so expensive and I've only had it for like, what, 2 months or something?
Maybe, you know what though, maybe it's one of those things that you're trying to over-justify when really you actually got some evidence, maybe, you know?
I mean, maybe. We did change the battery. The cat ball was going off as well. And there is some wind tonight, but I feel like I put it specifically in the plastic wrapper of the Tim Tam, so it had a little shield around it from wind, and they need to be moved pretty hardcore to light up anyway, you know, for wind to actually blow it.
And the wind wouldn't set off the REM pod, would it?
No.
It's never set it off before.
Yeah, I honestly... You hear that big like gunshot?
Yeah, I can hear gunshots.
Or maybe...
Or a car backfire. Yeah.
I don't think... Surely it's not gunshot. I reckon that's so odd.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a firework. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, further sound pollution to contaminate our evidence tonight.
It is not your night tonight, is it?
Nah, this is not a good area for an investigation anyway. But I wish I could see the damn fireworks. Okay, I think we're done here. We didn't want to go too long or too late because it is residential here. And I mean, yeah, it's a hard one to investigate.
It was so annoying. There's so much noise here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, I think it's still possible to pick things up, and yeah, we shouldn't just not investigate somewhere that could have hauntings because of something that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I don't think a place necessarily has to be world famous to be haunted either. Like, you know, you don't need to, just because this isn't Dracula's castle in Romania, like it doesn't mean the local cemetery can't have its own stories, and this one does, right? So
yeah. And how I miss Romania.
Yeah.
And castles. Yeah, and I don't actually think that this ghost story is well known either. This is just something that someone told me at a party.
You know what though? Okay, you know, noise pollution, we couldn't really get anything that required audio. I scrubbed the SLS video and it doesn't look like we got anything. But that REM pod was weird. The REM pod was very weird. I'm
Only
gonna
on
go
that
home
bench.
and play with it.
Only on that bench.
We moved things off to make sure it wasn't anything too close. We changed the batteries, and it was still going off.
Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that.
With the cat ball, so it's paired with other things as well.
I'm gonna go home and play with it and see what happens. But yeah, I'm always excited to go through my footage because you never know what you're gonna get. And who knows? Maybe we've got like some little kids playing.
Well, think of it. If you're a
cool.
kid, and you know you're sitting around in this noisy cemetery for eternity, and someone brings like a little toy that lights up and makes noises and chocolate.
Yeah,
cookies,
that'd be so
like,
exciting, right? So
yeah.
I guess it's nice.
Maybe they were excited by it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I hope that is the case. I don't know though. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any local haunts. This one is kind of like close to us, so I guess it's kind of like a local haunt for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just continuing to film and create content. COVID has slowed us down, as I've been saying in my videos as of late, but we are, yeah, we're looking forward to when we can travel and visit more places. So yeah, let me know like cool local haunts near you, and maybe we'll add them to our list. It's very long. So we haven't been able to go anywhere for so long, but yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. That does help me out. If you want to do any more reading about this place, head to AmysCrypt.com. You guys can also follow me at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, if you want bonus content from me, Patreon, YouTube members, they're linked below.
GhostTube.com if you want GhostTube.
Yeah, download GhostTube and GhostTube SLS, they're free.
This end of video thing goes for so long now. You've got so many things.
Shut up, Jared. But thank you for watching, Crypt Keepers. Until next time.
Bye.